And we are live. Get the comments up. Hello, Colleen, Shannon. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Shannon? All right, awesome. So, what's everybody up to? Going to go a little bit of a different direction tonight. This girl that I'm having live does not have a channel, but she's been my very dear friend for several years. And she's always encouraging me to keep on going and doing YouTube and being an awesome support and everything but my diet soda habit. Anyway, we're going to bring Danielle on. I'm sitting there watching her laugh at what I said.
I may or may not bring up Diet Coke a few times today. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah,
You're doing something funny and I can't figure out where it's at. There it is right there. Do you see that? All right.
You look great.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I am well. We just finished up our school day up here. We have a private school, as you know, at our church that I'm the pastor's wife at. And I teach 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th, kindergarten, and first grade in my classroom. And so today was a typical Monday. I had to, to get them going on schoolwork quite a lot today. But we made it through, and I think I'm still alive, although it looks like I pulled my hair out a little bit here and there. So anyway, but it was a good day.
Every once in a while, I miss those days. Not too often.
Do you?
I'm enjoying my retirement.
Well, I know I will miss it. I always said, first of all, that I would never homeschool. And then we wound up homeschooling all those years that we were evangelizing across the country. And I miss homeschooling now at times, but I am enjoying getting to know all of these other kids that I get to have in my classroom every day. And I love them all dearly. I tell them regularly, they're not my kids, but they are my kids. And I love them like they were my own. And so anyway, they keep me busy, and there's days I miss the quiet of the house, but all in all, we have a good time on our way to heaven in my classroom. So
it's always nice. Once in a while, I'll get calls from some that were in my class.
Really?
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. Well, now the school that you were teaching at is completely changed, like the curriculum and everything.
Yeah, it's changed curriculums. So it's not to Abeka like you guys are. So.
Yeah. Well, we love Abeka. So if there's any homeschoolers out there or people that are considering homeschool, Abeka is an incredible option, and I would highly, highly suggest it. Our kids have gotten a great education, and I love their phonics program. It's so good. It really makes very confident readers. And anyway, but I'm now the girl who said I'd never homeschool, which I went to public school my whole life. And I'm not knocking it completely, but I think most would agree that in a lot of ways, public school has kind of gone downhill. And anyway, so private schools have become, and homeschool has become a better and better option now. And so for the girl that said that she never homeschooled, I don't know, I love it. And I love the times that I got to spend with my kids and that one-on-one time. And there's nothing like seeing, I have a kindergarten student now, and my youngest is 13. And so now, it's been a little while And to watch him learn how to read and that light bulb moment, come on. It was just, it's the sweetest thing. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, well, good.
You ready to dive in?
Of course. Sure. Why not? Why not? I know that you wanted me to talk about oils because that's kind of one of my things outside of, because this is a mirror image, I keep scooting to the wrong side.
I'd still do that.
So I'm having kind of a rough time with that. But my glorious classroom here, this is my backdrop. We have a curtain hanging because we still have storage on that little bit of this classroom. And so anyway, so excuse my class. That's where I'm at today. And anyway, I know that you wanted me to come on of oils, right?
Yes, go for it.
So how long ago was it that you started using Young Living oils?
Oh, has it been 2.5 years? 3 years?
Has it?
Probably 3. It's pretty close.
Well, I love my oils. Are you still using yours?
Yes. I do not do without my Raven and my peppermint and my lemon and my eucalyptus and on and on and on. Definitely.
Well, I love using mine, and I use them for, you know me, I use them for everything. There's an oil for that, that people mess with me all the time about, well, is there an oil for that? I'm like, well, yeah, probably. I may not know what it is, but I can look it up and figure it out.
Hey, I still text you and ask that. What do I do here?
Yeah. Well, even Kayla, your daughter, she'll text me or Marco Polo me, and she's like, I've got a stuffy nose. What can I use? But I love getting questions like that. That's fun. So one just disclaimer that I did want to throw out there. I use Young Living oils. They're my oil of choice. But I wouldn't want anybody to leave from this conversation and go out to one of your supermarkets or the big stores, and you know which ones I'm talking about, and pick up an essential oil and try to use it and expect to get the same results, because they're just not the same. And that's one of the things with Young Living that's really important, is that they have the seed to seal promise, which is basically that you're going to get the purest of the pure. It's going to be tested a bunch of times, and it's going to be exactly what it says it is on the oil. If it says lemon on the oil, that's all there is in the oil in that bottle. There's not any chemicals or fragrances or anything else. It's going to be pure lemon. And so one of my daughters just walked in, sorry, distracted me. And so I do like to start off with that, because like a lot of our oils can actually, like this is orange. I don't know if you can see that. This camera is totally going to mess with me. Because of the white label, I know that I can actually ingest this, but I would never tell you to ingest an oil from like one of the bigger stores like Walmart or Target, or a pack that you get at Ross or TJ Maxx. I've seen those out there, and they're just not the same.
Yeah.
Have you ever used any of those or tried using those others before you did Young Living, or did you just start with Young Living?
I've tried some from Walmart. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Well, what's really interesting is actually my oldest child, she did they have to do a science project every year with Becca. And last year she did hers over oils. And so she actually got like a lemon oil from Young Living, and then a name brand, or another brand, off-brand Young Living or lemon oil. And then she tried several different things, and she studied bacterial growth with those. And it was amazing how much better the Young Living one did. And it's just because it's a pure product.
Right.
So.
Well, you make a lot of cleaners and scrubs, and
I do.
You can use it for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. One of the main reasons that I even use oils is because, okay, I'll just tell you just a brief little story. I won't take up very much time with that. But our eldest child, Paris, is 16 now, but she has dealt with allergy-induced asthma for years. And it got really, really bad as we would travel across the country. and different allergens would be in the areas, she would really, really struggle in a bad kind of way. And so I was seeking help in some capacity because she was just, there were times when she was struggling to breathe. And I hated her having to use her inhaler, but we would. And so I started looking at different options. And I started researching, and I started figuring out that a lot of the things that I was cleaning with at the places that we were staying was actually what was causing her asthma. Because, I was one of those that I poured bleach on everything, or, Pine Sol, or, any of those, the chemically cleaners. And as I started researching, I think that's what was causing her asthma. And so I wanted to get away from some of the chemicals, but I really didn't know how to do that. And I ended up going to an oils class at a ladies retreat that I was speaking at. And a lady shared with me some Raven, which I know you love. And Raven has got peppermint, and it's got a lot of other good things in there. And that is what I call my gateway oil, because it absolutely turned Paris's asthma around. Anytime that she would start even the hint of having some breathing issues, I would have her take that bottle, and, she would just really simply just put a drop in her hand, rub her hands together, and breathe it in like that. And after just a couple of minutes, you could tell a dramatic difference in how she was breathing. And so then we were at a place, and she had a severe asthma attack, like to the point we were about to go to the hospital, because they had mold growth in their church, from where they had fled a couple of times. And we used Raven, and we used peppermint and Valor. Do you like Valor?
I've used it.
Valor?
Okay. Yeah, I've used it.
And it completely pulled her out of that asthma attack. I'm talking to the point where she was wheezing, and it completely brought her out of that. After, I'd say, about 10 or 15 minutes of just sitting there and breathing on me. And so it completely opened up her airways. And because of that, it made a believer out of me. And I started seeing how things could be turned around. And so then, going into the cleaning aspect of things, I knew that I needed to cut out these things that were causing some of her breathing issues. And so Young Living actually makes a thieves cleaner. And it's really, really good. It's that camera, I'm telling you. I don't know how you do this. I'm terrible at this. This is why
the same way you're doing it right now, believe me.
This is why I'm not a YouTuber. So my kids are actually in here watching me right now, as well as one of my other students. And they're very thankful I'm not on YouTube now. Regularly. So anyway, so you can actually use this cleaner it's a plant-based cleaner. So it has absolutely no chemicals in it whatsoever. But it has things like thieves in it, which is one of the oils that Young Living makes, that has, I'll just read to you. It's got rosemary. You know what rosemary is from cooking. Cinnamon, lemon, clove, and so it's a mix of different, and eucalyptus. And so it's got a mix of all of those oils, and together those are a powerhouse combination that are actually really good to help kill germs and all of that thing. So it's really effective. It doesn't just smell nice. But I use like actually for this size bottle, I use 2 capfuls of this to make that cleaner. So, and since we started using that cleaner, she doesn't have any issues with her breathing, except for maybe during allergy season. And then, we have to do the oils and stuff to supplement that. But as far as cleaning stuff, she doesn't have any problems anymore.
Yeah, I know the Raven with my asthma is one thing I don't do without, and my allergies. I always try to make sure
the Raven
available.
Yeah,
it helps. It's. I also have the thieves. I love the thieves cleaner, and there's a lot of stuff in there I like.
So, how do you use your Raven? I'm curious.
I diffuse it.
Okay. So do you ever apply it topically?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I'll put it under my nose or breathe it in or whatever.
Yeah.
But
So, is this the diffuser that you have? The Desert Mist one? I think it is.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You like that one?
Yes, I do.
Now, I know that y'all ended up getting some more diffusers, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. I have one that I keep. Well, Kayla has one. Then there's one for the kitchen. Then there's one for my bedroom. So, hello, Joy. Shannon says this reminds me that I've got to go clean after this live. LOL.
Well, just be careful.
Her and Colleen both said hi, Danielle.
Hello.
Um, but anyway, Shannon doesn't live far from y'all. She's about an hour away.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Well,
she's
maybe I'll
not.
get to meet her sometime.
Yeah, maybe so. But anyway, so tell me about this Daniel fast y'all got going on. I think it's you and
Oh,
Joey doing
goodness.
it.
Yeah. So, my husband and myself and our eldest child are all doing the Daniel fast, which if you read your Bible and there in the book of Daniel, and it talks about here whenever he wants to abstain from everything that's on the king's table. And he goes before, and the basically the go-between was like, I don't know about that. The king wants you to all to eat this. And he's like, well, give us this many days. And to eat basically pulp is what they call it. But it's essentially a vegan diet. I know, right? Totally scary. Because I like my meat, and I like my cheese, and I like sugar, and I like all of that. So on the Daniel fast, you eat essentially, you can eat any of the vegetables that you want to. You can eat any fruit that you want to. You can eat beans, but no dairy, no sugar, no meat, obviously. So you basically eat a vegan in a
I'd
vegan
be
lifestyle.
switching for sure.
It is difficult at times, but you'd be amazed. You can actually make some really tasty things. Now, I would never want to live a vegan life. Like I, I, I I'm craving, a rack of lamb right now in a bad kind of way. Or even just a piece of salmon would be nice, or a steak. Um, but it'll be another week. So we're doing 2 weeks. Traditionally, you actually do 3 weeks, but we're
Ooh,
doing
I've never
2.
had lamb.
You've never had lamb?
I've never had lamb.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
How have you never had lamb?
I never
Oh,
have.
Sheree. Okay. The next time we make lamb, you need to come down to Kilgore Longview area, and I will cook you some lamb. Lamb was always what my dad made me for my birthday. And now every time I go home, my dad still makes me lamb because he
Oh
loves me.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so lamb is really, really good, but it is obviously it's a red meat, but it's more rich than steak is, I would say. But if it's not made right, you're not gonna like it. So that's why you got to come eat it at my house because I know how to make it. So traditionally, rosemary is actually one of the oils that are one of the. There's a rosemary oil. That's why I said that. One of the seasonings that you use on it. And then my dad always uses like salt and pepper, and he'll use dry mustard on it, or Dijon mustard. Now the mustard flavor doesn't come through as far as the real mustardy taste after it's cooked, but it's so good. And then we serve it with mint jelly. Have you ever seen the mint jelly in the grocery store?
probably.
Okay, it's like an apple mint jelly, and we serve it with that. Last time we made lamb, I actually made a mint infused honey and served it with it,
Hmm.
and that was really good too. So, but
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, it's one of my favorites though. We like to grill it. It's the best
I
that way.
don't know about that.
Funny story actually. When we first moved up to Bristol, Oklahoma, so this was pre-evangelism or anything like that. We had our pastor and them come over to the house, and I was like, I'm gonna make lamb. And my pastor's wife said, like, Mary had a little lamb.
That's what I was sitting here thinking. I always let Mary have her lamb, not me.
Oh, and I was like, yes, like Mary had a little lamb. It's really good. And you know what? She ended up liking it. So I was nice though. That night, I actually also made Cornish hens just in case she didn't like it.
Okay.
So have you ever done Cornish hens?
Yes, you can make me a Cornish hen.
Okay, but you have to try the lamb.
Oh, hello, it's a happy life. Shannon said not having cheese would leave her out. Joy said, I actually gained weight doing the Daniel fast for 21 days. Shannon's had lamb. She said it's really good. Colleen hates the taste of rosemary on meat. Shannon said she had it grilled. Joy doesn't like lamb. Danny loves lamb meat. Neither of us like deer meat or liver. Now, Colleen is from Jamaica. She lives in Jamaica.
Oh.
So she eats goat. We've been having these goat discussions.
Cabrito. We used to go to a place in Fort Worth on special occasions. My dad, whenever we were growing up, Uncle Julio's was the name of it, and they had the day where they had like the roasted goat leg of goat, and they brought it out, and it was really good. But that's the last time I probably had it, was when I was a kid. So on the Daniel fast and no cheese thing, that's funny because that is actually like my husband doesn't think anything should be served without cheese. And I tend to actually fall in that same category. I really like cheese. Like I like Gouda, I like Monterey Jack, I like any of it. But you'd be amazed. Like one of the meals that I make. Okay, have you ever had a rice bowl? Or do you ever do rice bowls?
No, I don't think.
Okay, like there's different. There's a place down the road from us called Hothead Burrito that makes burrito bowls, and it's basically just rice bowl, but it's rice, and then they have like grilled onions and bell peppers. A lot of times there's avocado, there's cilantro, there's usually a form of a bean on there, so like a black bean or a pinto. And then I feel like I'm missing something. The cheese, of course, is usually on there, and then you have a meat. But we make it on the Daniel fast without the cheese or the meat. But it's actually really good. So we do brown rice because white rice isn't legal on there. And then we do cilantro because I can eat cilantro like lettuce. I'm not one of those people that thinks it tastes like soap. I love cilantro. And then we do sauteed onions and bell peppers. And then my eldest child hates beans, but she has recently discovered that she can eat and tolerate navy beans and be a pretty happy person. So we'll do beans and avocado. And it's actually really tasty whenever you top it with some salsa and stuff. So
sorry,
my
daughter had to come in.
Oh. Well, why didn't she come say hi?
She hides from my lives.
I understand. But as far as the gaining weight thing, most of the time I lose weight. But I actually, yesterday morning when I weighed, I was so upset because I had gained weight. But this morning I had lost it all back off again. So I don't know. My body must have just been in a weird place. But we're not doing it just for the dieting aspect of things. We're also doing it because we tried to do this at the beginning of the year. And spiritually speaking, and that's a good thing. It also, though, it is a good cleanse because you eat so much more fiber and all of that. So for your digestive system, it's actually really good too. But yeah, it can be disappointing if you try to do it just for a diet aspect. Now, our youth pastor at our church, He said last year he lost like 21 pounds in the 3 weeks that he did the Daniel fast.
Well,
Joe usually loses weight. So I don't know what he's at now though. I haven't asked.
Shannon said she had chicken livers yesterday. Ugh, gag nasty. She said everything needs cheese. Yeah, and she loves cilantro.
Oh, I love cilantro. It's one of my favorite things. My family really likes carnitas because, you can pile the cilantro on it. Well, I say my family, everybody but Micah. Micah loves carnitas, but minus the cilantro. The rest of us could eat handfuls of it though and be a happy people.
I'm with her there. I'm not a big cilantro fan.
Now, chicken livers and gizzards. I've never been able to develop a taste where I enjoy those. I have to admit, my dad and them used to grab them at the Allsup's convenience stores and over there where we lived in Texas, and they would eat them, going down the road. And I think that they got those because it was a snack that none of us kids would steal from them. I really do. It's kind of like boiled peanuts. Like, I'm not interested in that, so I'm not going to steal that snack. You bring some chocolate and peanuts up in the car, though, you better be sharing. Or some Skittles.
Shannon says carnitas are yum, and she can't do gizzards.
Okay.
I don't want gizzards, livers, hearts, brains. That's just nasty.
Yeah. Have you ever made carnitas?
No. I think I ate yours when I was up there.
For Paris's birthday party.
Yes, I think so.
Did you like them?
Yes.
You looked up to the left side of your brain. Does that mean you were lying or telling the truth?
No, I did like them.
Okay.
Yeah. Colleen says chicken liver and gizzards are good.
Who said that?
Colleen did.
Oh, Colleen.
She's from Jamaica, though. But I know another supporter, Virginia, has been trying to convince her to eat some frog legs. And she demands she will not eat frog legs.
I ate frog legs as a kid, and I would eat them, and I think I enjoyed them, but I don't know. I just can't, like now, I can't imagine ordering frog legs, but I don't know. My dad, I've brought my dad up several times, but my dad's always been a very adventurous eater. We grew up eating sushi, like that was normal, and I love sushi to this day, the raw and the cooked alike. And a lot of people can't even fathom the thought of that. But so we ate frog legs. I remember one time my dad was trying to teach my brother how to shoot his gun. So they went out squirrel hunting one Saturday morning, but I didn't know that's what they went out to do. And he came back and he made breakfast and served it. And he told us what he served us, and it was squirrel and eggs. I'm telling you, as a teenage girl, I about died. Like,
gross.
Yeah. It's just, and I mean, my dad can make anything taste good. He's an exceptional cook, but I don't care if I ever eat anything like that again. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think I'd almost rather do the Daniel fast than eat squirrel again.
Squirrels look like rats when they're skinned. It's disgusting.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm curious, because that's a good question. Would you rather eat squirrel or go on the Daniel fast?
It depends on what kind of vegetables are on the Daniel fast. Does it have potatoes and green beans? Then I could survive, and corn. And you just froze.
Well, I mean, you can eat any of them. You just can't.
If it's potatoes, green beans, and corn, then I would survive. And some rice. I would be okay. You're totally frozen. I'm going to remove you and put you back in.
Okay.
You there? There you go.
I'm here.
You're back.
I don't
You're
know
not
what
frozen
happened.
anymore.
Okay. I'm
Shannon
connected to
says
the
she made.
Wi-Fi up here, but
There ain't no telling. Shannon said she made squirrel for an elderly man she took care of years ago. Poor
did
guy.
she actually did she eat it with him?
Yeah, did you try it, Shannon? She's not saying nothing. So you took
Okay.
Paris and you went gluten free with her. Tell a little bit about that.
So Paris, my eldest, she is my kid that has allergies. Bless her heart. She's allergic to bananas. She's allergic to cantaloupe. She's allergic to every pollen you can think of. But then she started having a lot of headaches, and I noticed that he was having some
Danielle, I'm going to
hear
resend
me?
you. Yeah, I'm going to resend you a link, and then
Okay.
let you come back on.
Do I need to
Some
go
reason.
off and come back on?
Well, quit doing it now. Maybe you're good.
Okay. Well, we can try for a minute. Anyway, she was having a lot of headaches and having some like bloating issues and things like that. And so I started doing some research and figured out that it was a good chance that she was allergic to gluten. And so we started trying to cut gluten out to see if that was the culprit, and started feeling so much better. The headaches completely went away. We also noticed the other issues dissipating as well. We found that she is thriving doing gluten free. There's times whenever it's hard to avoid gluten, and thankfully it's not like it's not like celiac or anything like that. But we have found some avenues to be able to make that work for her. And our world has really because at the grocery store you can find all sorts of stuff that are gluten free. And her favorite thing that's almost always gluten free is potato chips. Who knew? So that was something that would be legal. Um, but she can do rice and she can do the gluten free breads and things like that. But she's just learned to cut a lot of that out. And I've really found that using it's called Thrive Market. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
I started getting orders from them once a month, and I put in all of her favorites, and then they just send it right to me. Because there's times whenever it's hard to find a huge selection at our grocery stores, but largely she does a lot of meat and vegetables, and then the gluten-free pastas she really likes. And honestly, now I've started using those in place of the regular just for our whole family, so I don't have to cook 2 batches of stuff. So like I made lasagna with the gluten-free noodles and everybody loved it. I made the well, this week we've been able to do because gluten-free pasta works for the Daniel fast, which is awesome.
Great.
So yeah, so I actually was able to get, because it's made out of corn and rice, so it's legal and it doesn't have any
So
added
you,
sugar.
you had veggie
Um,
lasagna.
Well, I didn't make lasagna. That one I did the penne pasta and
Uh-huh.
the ragu, the simply ragu or whatever, it doesn't have any sugar added to it, is legal. So we like basically had, gluten-free noodles and pasta sauce with some mushrooms on top of it. So, that may not sound incredibly amazing, but when you're on the Daniel fast, it's like gourmet. It's like the best thing ever. You know? No? You don't agree?
Mm.
So anyway, so that's where we're at with her gluten-free stuff. We're just going to move right along because you went quiet on me. So good, but really it's been a blessing. It's really helped her so much. So Paris, come here real quick. She's fixing her hair.
Hello, Tina.
Went the wrong way.
Shannon says that she did not eat squirrel. No way.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Come here real quick. Come here. Hurry. So this is
Hi,
Paris.
Paris.
So Paris, what is your favorite gluten-free thing?
Sit down. Probably. Well, I obviously love baked potatoes, and I could eat those before, but since I started going gluten, my favorite thing is probably rice bowls. I eat those like all the time, and then just like gluten-free crackers that are actually really good with cheese and like little pepperonis. They're really good.
So that is one thing I forgot to leave out that she loves is this loaded stuffed potatoes. And those are completely legal on the gluten-free diet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to give up
I'm really
potato.
chicken.
What'd you say?
I said so she didn't have to give up her potato.
No. No. Now, she actually, one thing, cereal was kind of a hard thing because she really likes Special K,
Fruit and yogurt.
the fruit and yogurt variety, and that
Uh-huh.
has gluten in it. So she had to give that up.
But Cheerios are gluten-free, and they have pumpkin Cheerios, which are really good. So.
Yeah, so she was super happy about the pumpkin spice Cheerios being gluten-free. And so there's little things there in the mix that you can find, and it makes it not so difficult.
I eat a lot of the same stuff I ate whenever I was not
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free. So.
Yeah. Now there are times though that she has to take, she takes those ollies if it's just unavoidable that she's going to eat gluten, she'll take some of the ollies that are good for, it's called Beat the Bloated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have gummies, and then there's like pills you can take. I take both usually, also with gallbladder pills. That helps.
Yeah. So she does all of that, and that really helps her a lot. So.
Well, that's good. Tina says she loves fried squirrel.
I'm sorry.
You are your mother's child.
That is so fantastic. That was a Danielle response if I've
It
never
definitely was. Colleen says she eats a little rice with a curry goat.
Okay.
I could try that if it's gluten free. But
I really remember liking goat. Now, I don't know where you would go about buying goat meat though, like in the U.S.
She went live with me. May have been last week. I think it was last week. Yeah. And
okay.
She said that over here we give the more she's watching YouTube, the more she finds out that we give goats names like we give dogs names over here. Over there, they eat them.
Yes. I've always told Joe that whenever we get property, like I want a goat. Like, I would probably. He's asked me, okay, so do you think we could have a couple of goats and then you'd actually kill it to eat it?
Yeah.
And part of me thinks I could, and part of me thinks that I'd be like, no, that's my baby. because there's Teddy.
Where's Teddy?
I want a
is,
fainting goat. I think those are so neat.
the fainting goat.
Yes.
Now, Mike is bringing Teddy to say hi. There's Teddy.
Hi, Teddy. Hi, Micah.
He's not happy.
Look over there. He's our school mascot and our class pet. He comes to school with me every day. But what was I going to say? Oh, Joe has always said, when we were evangelizing, he would always say, he said, when we take a church, we need to, I need to get a fainting goat, because then if anybody irritates me or, I'm just frustrated, I can go out there and scare the goat and feel all better about life.
Shannon says she wants a couple of goats so bad but would never be able to kill them.
Well,
Shannon
now see, I don't think I could do the killing.
Teddy.
Shannon is an animal lover. We were teasing her the other day about all these. She would be the one that had all the animals on the farm, but would never do anything with them. It'd turn into a petting zoo.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a homestead situation necessarily. They would just be the more the merrier.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't know how I would do with that, because we didn't have any animals growing up, So I don't know. I'm pretty fond of Teddy. He's
Colleen
my
says
other
hi,
child.
Teddy.
He's the chosen one.
Joy said goats are good for eating weeds and poison ivy and poison oak.
That's a good reason to have a goat.
That is a good reason.
Yeah, I need one of them around here.
And goat cheese. Goat cheese is good. We could have goat cheese.
She loves goat cheese.
I'm just always afraid I would have a problem eating something I've looked at.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if I've fed it and I've looked at it and I took care of it and then I'm going to eat it, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
See, I think I'm just mean enough that I might be able to do it. I mean, like I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to restate that. Like, I couldn't actually do the killing. Like, that's outside of my ability. But
Colleen says she doesn't kill goats or any animals. The butchers do that in Jamaica. Yeah, I know you don't, Colleen.
I like it. I like it.
I knew you didn't.
I think I really do need to look into where I could buy goat. And then we could have an experiment, Sherry. We could eat goat together.
Oh, Danielle, I don't know about that.
I mean, Joe's got the green egg. We could put it out on the green egg and slow cook it and make it nice and yummy and succulent. Well, we'll do lamb too.
That way, if the goat is bad, we still have another meat.
See, she loves lamb as well. But anyway, yeah, I'm not so sure about all of that. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be an experiment for sure.
Just like how they kill pigs and cows. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but pigs and cows, well, pigs are kind of cute when they're little. So are cows. Again, yeah, I've never had any, like never owned any.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard. But at the same time, it would be nice to have that for moments when
I know
in our world.
This one family that vlogs, and they go and they buy like a whole cow, like every year, or even a half a cow, and fill their freezer up.
Well, one of the men in our church actually approached
my husband. They also have 11 kids, so
God bless them. God bless them. Yeah, no. Can you imagine how much cleaning that entails? 11 kids, which they probably do a lot of it. The kids, at that point, your kids are doing a lot of that kind of stuff. I totally lost my train of thought.
You said a guy in your church.
Oh, yes. He approached my husband about going in halves on a steer and like feeding it out and then killing it, to get meat. And I'm for that because I probably would only have to see the cow like one time.
Yeah.
Because Joe would be like, hey, let's go see this cow we bought. And I'd be like, great. And then we go see the cow. And then the next time I saw it, it would be in my freezer.
Yeah.
But if it was in my backyard, I don't know.
Do you know how much Ted would bark at us?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. People raise chickens and kill it for their freezer. Yes, they do. And there's a lot of people. I have several friends that raise their own chickens.
We've got some people in the church that do, which they largely do it for eggs. I don't know. I guess I'm too much of like a girl, like a girly girl, because like I have a really hard time fathoming having like, first of all, to cut the head off of the thing, like, and then to like pluck the feathers and I don't know. I could do it. I could man up enough to be a woman.
I think it was my grandpa. He used to reach down and pick them up, and he'd wring their neck and snap their head off.
Oh, that's horrific.
Years ago, that's how they done it. There was a trick to it, I guess. They'd literally snap their head.
Oh, and, y'all, I've got a lot of respect for folks that can do that, but I would go on the Daniel fast for life before I would do that. Like, as much as I'm looking forward to a week from now when I'm going to be eating meat again, like, I would go on the Daniel fast for life before I would ring.
Joyce says she would starve if she had to kill her food. I'm probably with you there. I don't know. I've not killed anything.
I'd just rather plant a big old garden, but
yeah.
I don't know. I have this picture in my mind and it's just horrific. Like, I'm such a girl.
Yeah.
I'm such a girl. And I'm so glad I live in the century that I live in because I like indoor plumbing too.
Things back then were a lot different.
They were.
Way different.
Yeah, we were actually having a discussion not too long ago about how young girls got married, you know, like talking pioneer age, you know, because she would definitely already be married. And the other one probably would be getting close to getting married. And that's like, that's not a cool thought. But in those days, they were so much more self-sufficient probably by this age. You know, they knew how to do everything.
They knew how to cope and were way more mature and knew how to handle situations and you know, because they had to.
Yeah.
But
well, it was out of necessity. And honestly, you know, the dads, I guess, were okay with it because it was one less mouth to feed in the house. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, we've gone like crazy topic wise. We've gone from oils.
I know, we went everywhere.
But that's okay.
She can't eat vegetables always. She has to eat meat too. I'm with you, Colleen. I'm a meat and taters girl.
Well, I normally always am as well. But now I like more vegetables than Sherry does. Sherry won't eat a handful of vegetables, and I will eat most of them. Speaking of, have you ever had acorn squash?
No, girl.
No?
Not to my
knowledge. You like regular squash, don't you? Like yellow?
Yes, if it's fried.
What about sauteed? You don't like it sauteed?
Now, I have eaten it in that kind of Mexican squash casserole. You know, it's got the yellow squash, the rice, the rotel, the ground beef, the cheese. Now, that's really good.
But you're hiding the vegetable at that point.
That's the point. That's
Paris
the whole
is with Shannon. Paris is saying that she's on Shannon's team, that she can eat just a veggie plate.
Squash.
So, Shannon, what are your 4 favorite vegetables?
Green beans, green beans, green beans.
Anyway, I said that about the acorn squash because I just made some the other day, which I've made it before, but it totally wasn't Daniel fast friendly the way I made it before because it was maple bacon glazed. So like you cook bacon and then you make like a glaze out of the bacon grease and maple syrup and you drizzle it on top of this
And you
already
hide the
prepared
vegetable.
and it's like exceptional. Like it's so good, mind blowing. I made it for Thanksgiving one year, several years ago. But I made some the other day, and it was so good, and it made me wish that I had made more of it more often because it's so good. So it's gonna make, as long as it's in season, I'm gonna make it more often. Green beans, broccoli, green peppers, and cucumbers.
Yeah. That sounds good.
That is a lot of
And
green.
there's corn, squash, asparagus, and broccoli. And Colleen's telling me I need to go talk to some Indians, and they'll tell me about curry goat.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
before
have
we
to
go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
So did Colleen, I guess I need to go back. Did she give you a recipe for the curry goat? Or does she have one on her channel or something?
She doesn't have a channel. Do you have a recipe for that, Colleen? I bet she does.
Well, I would love
Yeah.
to see that sometime because first of all, I'm going to have to find a butcher or somebody that would have goat. But I really you've got my interest piqued because I had it as a kid and what it was is Thursday nights were always, the nights that they made that at Uncle Julio's. It was a special. And so like maybe once every 6 months or so, we would go over and we would go on a Thursday night and eat it. And it was always something we looked forward to. So I haven't thought about eating goat though in years. So now I want to make some because I love lamb.
That's a nightmare.
What?
I want to eat something that goes bleh.
Bad. You'd be sitting at my table going, that was bad.
Bad day.
Okay, so go ahead.
Maybe you would say that wasn't too bad.
Ha ha ha. Before we get too far ahead, I want to go ahead and drop Danielle's link. Hopefully it posted to her Young Living page if you're interested in checking any of it out. And I'll also drop it in the description.
Does anybody have any questions on the oil stuff?
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions for Danielle, send them on.
One of my favorites is Thieves, and I diffuse a lot of it this time of the year because it's so good when sicknesses are going around. And it smells amazing. It smells like fall. The clove and cinnamon and all of that. It's so good.
I was going to bring my oils in here, and I totally forgot. I have a whole bunch of them. Colleen said just season with curry powder and other seasonings.
Okay.
She said, Sherry, you won't hear that, LOL.
The best for relaxation. So there's actually several of them. Lavender is like a go-to, but you either love lavender or you hate lavender. But Sherry's actually allergic to lavender.
Yeah, I don't do lavender.
So
Shannon has.
But Stress Away is really, 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 really good for relaxation, and that's one that Young Living puts out. But it's got. Do you like Stress Away?
Yes, Shannon has really bad migraines.
Okay, so for migraines, a lot of things. Hi, there's another oil friend just walked in. Jennifer just came in. You want her to say hi?
Hello, Jennifer.
You go and let Jennifer come in.
Adios, mi amigos.
Hello, Mike. Welcome in.
Yes. Okay, this is Jennifer. She does oils too. So lavender stress away is really good. For migraines, if they're hormonal, Progestins Plus or Endoflex or Myrtle is really good for those. Peppermint is good for any headache in general, but for relaxation purposes, a lot of times something grounding is going to be good, which is going to be a tree oil. So like frankincense is really grounding. Copaiba is pretty grounding. It's more anti-inflammatory though than anything. So
Yeah, she just went and had the injections
oh, okay.
in her neck just the other day.
The dog, please.
Bro, stop.
But
She doesn't want to play with you.
Jennifer, what's your favorite oil for relaxation?
I mean, probably just the obvious lavender.
Gentle baby.
But I mean, Stress Away is like my absolute favorite, like hands down. It was the thing that won me over. So, I mean, I'm always going to go back to Stress Away.
I used Stress Away today because it was a Monday.
yeah, I wonder why.
I have children.
I do
All
like
day.
Stress Away. I have it in my collection. You know, I also have lavender, but I usually don't touch that. Kayla does the lavender in her room with the door shut. It kills me. It'll break me. I'll start breaking out in hives. But
She's actually allergic to it. Like legit allergic to lavender. Yeah.
so But-
So, one time I heard like you can't be allergic to essential oils.
Okay.
Is that
Well, I mean,
like I don't know the science behind that.
there is a science in that, but there are people, and I actually muscle tested her with it, and she's really allergic to it.
I didn't find out I was allergic from Young Living. I found out because I bought some Epsom salt with lavender in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
It
used.
actually, with her, I actually muscle tested her with it, so that is what it is. Just Shannon, make sure you get a really good lavender, like I said, a good quality. Don't go to it. Lavender, all lavender is not created equal. So to create a small bottle of lavender, it actually takes like 9 square feet of lavender plant to make one little bottle of oil with Young Living. And it's just that potent. But a lot of people mistake commercial fragrance lavender with actual lavender and they're very different smells. So
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
but I like to cook with my oils too, and I know you know that but you can actually, some of Young Living's oils you can actually cook with as well, which is a lot of fun. Actually, I enjoy experimenting with them. But my favorite thing to make, I can't even eat right now because of the Daniel fast. And it's a dessert. It's a dessert. Okay.
I've used cinnamon in making like a pumpkin cake with
Yeah.
cinnamon cream cheese icing.
Yeah, I can't stop.
Well,
talking
they
about
have
it.
cinnamon, they have lemon, they have cilantro, which
Lavender.
I,
You can actually ingest
Yeah.
lavender in
they
lavender
have black
lemonade.
pepper.
Yes. I've got my black
There's
pepper right
like
there.
tons.
But black pepper, yes, you can cook with it. It's really good for energy too, though. So
Really?
it's like it's not because it like burns you alive or anything. It's just, it really is. And yeah, it smells like pepper. It doesn't make you sneeze though.
No.
But it's really good for energy. So God made all those plants and they all
Really? I
have
never knew that.
medicinal purposes. So
Yeah, I love Young Living. I told somebody a while back I wouldn't be interested in any other oil company. I'm totally sold on my Young Living.
yeah.
And
Well, if you even try to diffuse two next to each other, they just don't compare. But then when you look behind the science of what they put into it, and people say that they're expensive, and I understand where sometimes the price tag can be like, it can see, but they go so far. I've had the same bottle of lavender for over 6 months. And so they go a long ways, and it's not, it's an investment really into your health as well. Cause I can't tell you the last time I had to buy a bottle of ibuprofen or cold medicine really. Well, I take that back. I did just have to do Advil cold and sinus. I don't want to lie. I did just have to buy that. But go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
So a lot of times people get scared off by a price tag, but it's all looking into what it's going to do for you. And like that cleaner I showed earlier, I have thrown away every other cleaner in my house, and this thing will last me at least 3 months. And I make like my regular all-purpose cleaner, I make my soft scrub, I make my window cleaner, I make my oil polish, my polish, my furniture polish. I do everything with that. And so really I've saved money using that. But anyway.
Yeah, it lasts a really long time.
I actually made the other day some fabric softener with my conditioner. So, I mean, even their bottle of, shampoo and conditioner, I was able to split that. And so then with part of the one that I was going to hold back and use later on, I made fabric softener with. So it's so versatile. You can use it for so many things, and it really is cost effective.
And she's a budget girl.
Coming in and calling. Yeah.
Our hour's already over, Sherry.
It is. It's been a blast.
It wasn't so difficult.
No. It went good.
And I didn't even ask you about your diet.
I don't want to discuss that.
I wanted to because it was going to be fun. Do you have your water friend with you that your daughter bought you?
I bought it.
Oh, where is it?
She just filled it up. It's in the living room, somewhere between the two recliners.
It's supposed to guide you.
Well, I have this. That count. They each have some form of water.
Oh, Sherry, you're going to be in so much trouble.
This is tea. Unsweet tea, Shannon. This is that strawberry kiwi stuff. Hey, I'm twitching. I'm usually down about 4 or 5 cans by now. I have had no Diet Pop today, and I'm about to yeah.
You're going to be okay, Sherry.
This is not good.
Get you some stress away and breathe it in. Well,
Shannon,
thank you for having me.
Do what?
Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for popping
Maybe
in,
we can
Jen.
cook sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah,
I was hoping that she would get here a little earlier, and I'd pull her on in here earlier, but she didn't show up till the very end. So,
I want to tell everybody thanks for coming on. Thanks, mods, and everybody. Thanks for coming in and chattering and listening to us chat. But anyway,
well, have a good evening.
You too. Y'all stay out of trouble.
Oh, we got prayer meeting tonight.
You need some. Help her, Lord. You better pray over that goat. See you guys.
I ain't had squirrel in several years. I don't know why you say I need prayer.
Hey, that Ray Stevens, the day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church, you know. You let a few squirrels loose in the church service.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, I love you.
See you guys later. Love you too. Bye, y'all.
Bye. How do I get off of here?